Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Superboy issue number 2. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, I find it funny that I'm actually kind of in the minority when it came down to Superboy's comic. See, a lot of people are actually upset and dislike what's been happening with Superboy, where I actually have been enjoying it. Scott Lobdell has done 3 titles in the new DC 52. Red Hood and the Outlaws wasn't good. Teen Titans was okay, but I thought Superboy was the best of the 3. It was actually a pretty good issue. It didn't blow me away, but it did a different take on Connor that I like. It feels as though we're starting back at square one, and I think that's what a lot of people are upset about, but I don't mind it so much because, again, it's a different take on Connor, while at the same time he's still Connor. It feels as though we're taking him in a new direction, but he's still the character that we've known and loved. So again, I'm kind of in the minority when it's come down to this. But again, it's opinions. People have opinions. They can either like something or they cannot like something. But like I said, I did enjoy issue number 1 of Superboy. So, after experiencing the other 2 titles that Scott Lobdell has done, I'm a little bit wary going into Superboy issue number 2. Was issue number 1 a fluke? Was it just the moons aligned and it was hit with space radiation and it happened to turn out to be a good issue? Or is Superboy being written as a good series? Well, just going to have to wait and see. Let's get into issue number 2 of Superboy. Now, issue number 2 kind of picks up where issue number 1 leaves off. The issue actually takes place in 2 different time periods. It takes place a month ago when Superboy, just gets out of the chamber, he's naked and he has no hair, and then it takes place in current time where he has a suit and where he has hair. Obviously, as we've seen from issue number 1, Nowhere wants to use him as a weapon, particularly against the Teen Titans. However, they want to test him out first, so they team him up with Ravager, Rose Wilson, and send him to a research and development facility that they actually control that has been overrun by, I think, space aliens. They talk about being able to survive in the vacuum of space, so they could be space aliens. They kind of look like sharks, so I'll call them street sharks. Anyone remember that cartoon? Anyways, so Superboy and Ravager has to go down, and I'm sorry I keep on calling her Ravager. Should be calling her Rose Wilson because she's not Ravager yet. But Superboy and Ravager go down to take care of these street sharks, alien thingies. The question is this, is who's playing who? Is Superboy playing Nowhere, or is Nowhere playing with Superboy? And is Superboy in control of his powers, or is his powers in control of him? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, I continue to like the course that Superboy's going on personality-wise. I feel as though we're eventually going to get Connor to the point that he was beforehand, only he's going to be slightly different. And I don't mind us going back to square one with him. Just kind of spruce up the character a bit. I also like the costume. I know a lot of people don't, but I think it looks pretty cool. It would be a little bit better and a little bit more Superboy-ish if it was red and blue rather than red and black. But I'm okay with it. We get a little bit more of a display of Connor's powers, which is good. And the story is kind of keeping me interested. Rose Wilson is also badass in this. The thing is, and this is, I guess, a kind of a good and a bad, is I like how Rose Wilson is being portrayed because she is being portrayed like Rose Wilson. It doesn't feel as though she's much different personality-wise from what she was before Flashpoint. Granted, she's at a different point in her life, and she has a different job and kind of a different origin. She's still acting what I think Rose Wilson should act like. Granted, I want her to have the traditional costume and to get her out of this nowhere place, which I think she eventually will. But I like Rose Wilson, and I kind of like the chemistry going on between her and Connor. I heard that in the Teen Titans comic, Connor's going to be with Cassandra for a bit, but not for too long, and that they actually might set up a romance between him and Rose Wilson, which I might be okay with because it would look actually fun. Plus, I always saw Wonder Girl and Robin, or Red Robin, being better together. But putting that aside, bad. There's a lot of talking in this issue. A lot of talking. In addition to that, there's at one point where I'm confused on exactly what happened. Superboy is going kind of mental in the past, said a month ago, and then suddenly he stops, and it looks like someone puts a hand on him, and it looks like he goes flying like a million feet. I don't know if like suddenly he just turned off, or if someone threw him, but they never actually show who it was. It looks like it could have been Red, the doctor that's been looking after him, but she's in a different costume after. I'm just lost at that point. On a whole, whether or not you should get it. This was an okay issue. Uh, it wasn't bad. It didn't blow me away either. I think the effects that issue number 1 had on me is kind of wearing off. This issue needs to speed. This series needs to speed up a bit and get to the point that it needs to be at. I feel as though it's tying in a little bit too much to Teen Titans, and that it's relying on the Teen Titans story also. It's still an okay issue, but okay at best. Like a 2.5. I do recommend picking it up because there are some good points to this, and if you're a Superboy fan, I still think you should give it a chance. But like I said, it wasn't quite as good as the first issue, but it was okay. That said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.